Now these ones are a little bit easier to separate. Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for tuning into the video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some of the panning techniques that I use to get down to sellable quality as far as being that clean. Now the coarse gold obviously is a lot easier to clean up. You can pan it down a lot faster, and you can even pick some of the pieces out with your hands. But when you get down to that ultra fine gold, alright, unlike the other pan, this pan is going to be a little bit more difficult to pan down just because, well, we got some black sands in there mixed with the gold. It can be a little bit of a treat to get it panned down. I'm going to show you some techniques that were taught to me when I first started. Alright, this technique is called the paintbrush. So when you want to get all the black sands out of the pan and you have a little bit left, what you can do, you just take that material just like a paintbrush. You just take a little bit back at a time, a little bit back at a time, a little bit back at a time. You might think this technique takes a while, but really it goes pretty fast. And if you get a piece of gold right up here, no big deal. You just go ahead and you take the gold right here. You just watch as you're doing it. Keep your eye on there and don't ever just throw that material out. Always keep it so you can go through it again. Now as you see, we got some material right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to empty that out of the pan. Here, I went ahead and put it in a different pan, but you can see this pan doesn't have a lip at the bottom. I can just get everything straight out of this pan and it's not going to get caught up. For this technique, you're going to want a pan that doesn't have a lip on the bottom. I'll go ahead and run back through the technique on this pan. Get it up there centered, however you like to work with it, get it spread out. Take that water and we're just pulling the material back. Just a little bit at a time. I think you guys get the point. You just take a little bit at a time. You just take that water, pull that material back. And like I said, this technique may look like it takes a while, but it really doesn't take that long when you're working at it. Within a few minutes, you're going to have it pretty well close to being panned down. And then from this point, I don't like to get a whole bunch of material in the pan at once. I like to go ahead and empty the pan so we're working with less and less each time. See, let it out, let it out, let it out. And now it's ready for another round of the paintbrush. We're just pulling that material back. We're not pulling it back real hard, we're just doing it real gentle. Sometimes you can get around with wrapping, kind of doing a swirl, kind of help pull it back a little bit. You can see we're getting down to that gold now, getting all that black sands out of the pan. We'll go ahead and get that out of there. Just a little bit each time. All we're doing is knocking it down. Go ahead and we'll do it one more time. Just pull it back. Just a little bit each time. You can see that pulling back. As we get towards the end, it gets a little bit harder. And there's a different technique that I use for this when I get to this point right here. Now you can take the paintbrush and use this technique as far as you can get it. But pretty soon you get down to the point where the paintbrush isn't being very effective anymore. You get down to where it's about clean, but it's not quite clean. And I will go ahead and I'll show you the technique that I use to get it down from here. Alright, this technique right here is called the baby rattle. This is what I was told when I was taught that it was called, so I've been calling it that ever since. You can see there's some gold up there, but you just take that and gold right down there, you just shake it right back down to the bottom. Like I said, it's always a good idea. I think we just lost a piece of gold there. That happens every once in a while. It's not a big deal. That's why you pan over a pan there, so you have it and you can get out with a snuffer bottle, or you can just throw it together in another pan. That's usually what I do when I get down to the very, very fine gold. So what you're doing is you're just letting go of that black sand. You're just letting it go. You got to keep your eye on there and really watch it, and you're just a little bit each time. You can see how little bits, oops. Now I just let another little piece go, but you can see how that black sand's releasing. Alright guys, that's pretty dang good. You get down this point, you can start taking your finger and you can start sliding off that gold into a clean pan. Or you can just do this. What you do is you just tap the pan. You just tap the end of it, give it a slight tap, and you can walk that gold right up to the top of the pan. And at this point, what you can do, you can take your snuffer bottle and you can just get all the clean gold out of there. You don't want to suck up that black sand, because remember, you're going to get this stuff sold. And buyers like to have clean gold. Even though I sell mine to a place that melts it all down, I sell mine at, I'll go ahead and show you guys. I'll throw it up on the screen. I can't quite remember off my head right now. I think it's like the American Recycle Company. I'll go ahead and throw it up on the screen where I sell my gold at. They've always been real good to me. Never had any screwy business or anything. Always get paid. Turnaround time's usually pretty quick too. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and tap some more back up on the pan. And you can usually, I mean really, if you sit there long enough, and it really doesn't even take that long. It's kind of actually a fun thing to do at camp at nighttime. You're sitting there and you're relaxing and you want to have something to do. They're pretty clean. Not too bad. Got a little bit in there, you know. But it's pretty clean. I'm not disappointed with that at all. We'll go ahead and dump it out and take a look at it. There we go. Go back and give it the rattle trap and even get a little bit more. And when I get down to my final end of the day pan, my last technique is right here. I usually get it down and then I just do that. You see how a little bit it ran off? I just kind of dip it in there and I just keep pulling it back, let the water hit it, keep pulling it back, and pretty soon you got it pretty dang clean. I mean, of course, I like to shake it up a little bit and get it all mixed up again. You know, gotta get the ingredients all mixed up, get that black sand. You see how that gold's sticking in the back of that pan? That's because I got scratches. That gold gets stuck to those scratches and it makes it hard to move around on the pan. So that's the reason you scratch the bottom of your pan. Alright guys, like I said, this is my last technique. I just pull it back, let it hit, pull it back. Alright, from this point, I take the gold, I put it in a frying pan, I dry it up, and then I get a piece of paper and I dump the gold out onto it. And then I take the gold and I pour it into the vial.